Hello learners, welcome to Engineers Academy. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe and bell icon to get notification for the upcoming videos. Now in this lesson we will be going to learn how to enter an array. What is an array? An array is a combination of many numbers. So far we were working with only one digit. We used to store a one digit in a variables. So in the previous example we used to store the radius value as only one digit. We used to write radius is equal to 8 meters. Now let's suppose if I want to enter a matrix which has only one row. So a matrix with only one row is called row vector. So let's suppose if I want to enter a row vector A with elements 2, 4 and 5. So how I will do, I will write A, then assignment operator, and then I will write square brackets open. I will write, let's suppose 2, 3, 4. So while doing this I will be able to write a row vector in MATLAB. So now if I write whose, so MATLAB tells me that A is a variable with one row and 3 columns. Let me clear all variables. Now again there is another method to enter a row vector. So I can write again a vector as equal to, I can write 2 space 3 space 4. So now if you people enter a space, so this is another method to enter a row vector. So now we have entered a variable in which 2, 3 and 4 are the elements of this variable. Now if let's suppose I want to enter another vector B, so I will write 4, 5, 6. And there is another method in MATLAB in which we can append these two row vectors. We can combine these two row vectors into one vector. So how we can do it? Let's suppose I write another vector S is equal to square brackets A comma B. So if I press enter, so now I have a row vector S with elements of A and then elements of B. So if I write whose, so A is a row vector with one row and 3 columns, B is a row vector with one row and 3 columns, and S is a row vector with one row and 6 columns. Is the combination of both A and B. Now what if I want to enter a column vector? So for column vector there are 3 methods. One method is that I can write, let's suppose I write T variable. So I can write 2 semicolon 4 semicolon 6. So this will enable us to enter a column vector. So now if I check the size of this T vector, so I write whose. Now T is a vector. T is a column vector with 3 rows and 1 column. So now this is the first method to enter semicolons. Then there is another method that we can apply in MATLAB, is that we can take the transpose of a row vector. So if we take the transpose of a row vector, so it will be converted into a column vector. So how to do it? Let's suppose we have already entered a vector A. So we have this vector A. So if I want to store this vector in F vector, so if I write F and I write A transpose, so for transpose I have to put apostrophe. So if I write A comma, so what it will do, it will store the transpose of this A vector in this variable F. So now we have another F column vector which is a transpose of this A vector. Now the third method to enter a column vector is that I can write, let's suppose I write X, then I will write square brackets. So if I write 5, press enter, 6, press enter, 7, and then I close bracket and press enter. So now this is the third way to enter a column vector. This is very odd way, so I will never use this method. I will use the previous 2 methods to enter a column vector. Now if we want to enter a regularly spaced row vector or linearly spaced row vector, let's suppose I want to enter a vector Z from 1 to 10. So I will write 1, colon 10. So now I have elements from 1 to 10 with a linear spacing, that is 2 minus 1. The difference between each consecutive element is 1. So now we have a linearly spaced row vector. Now if let's suppose I want to have some other difference between the two consecutive numbers, let's suppose I want to increase the linear spacing or I want to decrease the linear spacing. Let's suppose if I want to write another vector A, let's suppose, and the starting element of this A vector, let's suppose I want to have it 2, and I will write semicolon, and let's suppose I want to have the spacing of 3, let's suppose, and I write 9. So now between 2 and 9 we can have these 3 elements. 2 plus 3 will be 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. Now again if I write, again I repeat this A vector, and instead of 9 I write 10. So again we have 2, 5 and 8. What's the reason behind this? Either 9 and 10, there is no difference between these two syntaxes. So basically if the difference of these two numbers, the starting number and the final last number, if the difference of these two is divisible by 3, so we will be able to see the last number. Let's suppose if I write again A vector, and now this time I write 2. So now 10 minus 2. Let me write it again. Let's suppose I write A is equal to, the starting element is 2, and then I want to have a spacing of 2, and let's suppose I want to have the end element as 12. So now between 2 and 12 with spacing of 2 we have these elements 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. So now as the difference of 12 minus 2 difference is 10, so it is divisible by 2, so we will be able to see the last number. So now if I write B vector and I write 2, spacing of 2, and now I write 13. So now 13 minus 2 cannot be divided by 2. It's not a multiple of 2, so what will happen? We will not be able to see 13. So the row vector will end, the last element of the row vector will be less than 13. So this is one another method to enter a linear space row vector. So now if we do not write this 2 and we only write, let's suppose if I write Z 3 colon 5, so automatically MATLAB takes a linear spacing of 1, so it will be 3, 4 and 5. Then there is one another command, that is there is one another function in MATLAB in which we can enter a row vector as well. So if I write a row vector D, let's suppose I want to have a row vector in which I want the first element to be 1 and the last element to be, let's suppose, 6, and now I want to have, let's suppose, 4 elements between 1 and 6. So I can write 8 linear len space. So I will write len space. 1 is the starting element, 6 is the final element, and 4 is the number of elements between 1 and 6. And in the previous method we used to enter the spacing between first and last element. So there is a difference between the two methods. Let's suppose if I write another vector, let's suppose I write D1 vector. So D1 vector, let's suppose I write 1 colon 2 colon 5. So we have a linear spacing of 2. So while using this method we specify the spacing between the first element and the last element, and while giving this instruction we specify the number of elements, and the spacing is calculated by MATLAB itself. Now if I write a vector A is equal to len space starting element is 5, end element is 8, and let's suppose I want to have an equal spacing and I want to have 31 elements in this row vector. So what I will do, I will write 5, 8 and then number of elements, and sorry, I will enter round brackets. Whenever you people use a function, in the front of function always round brackets are used, so never use square brackets in front of a function. So we will use round brackets. First element is 5, last element is 8, and the number of elements between 5 and 8 is 31. So now if I check whose, so we have a row vector A with 1 row and 31 columns, so we have 31 elements in this row vector A. Now if I write B is equal to 5 spacing of 0.1 colon 8, so we will have the same result. Let me write again. Let's suppose if I write a vector which is equal to length space 5, 8 and 31 elements. Let me suppress this. I do not want to print this. I want to compare both the syntaxes and both the commands. And then I write, let's suppose B, and then I write 5 colon 0.1 colon 8. So if I execute this and I execute this, both will have the elements between 5 and 8, and the number of elements will be 31. So how this, in this instruction, MATLAB calculates the linear spacing between 5 and 8 for 31 elements by itself. So it calculates that the linear spacing between 5 and 8 for 31 elements is 0.1. So how 0.1 is calculated? We can calculate it by using 8 minus 5 and divided by 30. If we have 31 elements, so the spacing between 31 elements will always be 1 less than the number of elements. So if let me suppress this as well. So if I do calculation for calculating this 0.1 linear spacing, so what is it? It is equal to 8 minus 5. Let me save it in some variable. I write a spacing. I want to store it in a variable named spacing. So 8 minus 5 divided by number of elements but 1 less. So 0.1. So in this case, MATLAB calculates the linear spacing between 5 and 8 for 31 elements using this method. So now let's suppose if I want to write again, if I want to write this B vector and I do not know the spacing, so I can write like this as well. If I write B1, let's suppose if I write B1 5 starting element, and then I do not know the spacing and I have to calculate that spacing, so I can calculate it here as well. So I can write 8 minus 5 divided by 30, and I can write the last element now. So the same 31 elements are generated if I write whose. So B1, A has a number of elements 31, B has a number of elements 31, B1 has a number of elements 31, and all of these are row vectors, and spacing is a 1 cross 1. Again, I can also write C1 again like this. If we calculate spacing, we have already calculated spacing. So if I want to write if I want to use the variable here, so let me write C is equal to 5 colon, and I write the name of the variable. So we have calculated the spacing, so I can write spacing, and then last element 8. So again I have the same row vector with number of elements 81. So if I check it again, whose, so C vector, row vector with number of elements 31. There is one another command if you want to check the length of a vector. So if I write length of A, so length of A tells us the number of elements in a vector. So let's suppose if I write, and if I want to store the length of A in some other variable, let's suppose I write length, len, let's suppose I write, and then I write equal to length of B, let's suppose. So length of B is also 31. So we can see here, let's suppose I enter a vector S and I write 4 space 5 space 6. So we have 3 elements in this. So, and now if I want to check the length of S, so I can write length of S equals to length of S. So it tells us that the number of elements in S vector is 3. So far we have discussed row vectors, how to enter a row vector and then a column vector. So now how to enter a two-dimensional vector or two-dimensional matrix. So let's suppose if I want to enter a matrix A with 2 rows and 3 columns. So how I can enter? I can enter like this. So I will write A, then square brackets 2, 3, 4, and then if I want to go to the next row, so what I will do, I will write semicolon. So I will write 5, 6, 7, and I will close brackets. So if I press enter, now we have a matrix, an array of 2 rows and 3 columns. If I check the size of this, whose A 2 cross 3, and now if I check the size of this, let's suppose I write length of A. So now in case of 2D arrays, it tells us the length, the maximum length. If we consider it a rectangle, so the maximum length is 3 and the width is 2. So length of A will always show us the maximum length of an array. Let's suppose if I take the transpose of this A and save it in, let's suppose, B variable. So if I take A transpose, so now B has 3 rows and 2 columns, and now if I check the length of B, so again it says 3. So always it gives us the maximum dimension. So now there are 3 rows and 2 columns, but the maximum length is 3. So length command will always tell us the maximum number of rows or maximum number of columns. There is one another way of writing a row vector. Let's suppose I have a vector S. Let's suppose I have a row vector S and I write 1, 2, 3, and then I have another vector T and I write 4, 6, 7. And if you want to combine these 2 row vectors into an array, into a 2D matrix, so what we will do, let's suppose I write U vector. So U will be equal to this S, and I want to have S as the first row and T as the second row. So what I will do, I will write semicolon, then I will write T. So we can write a 2-dimensional array like this as well. We can combine 2 row vectors or 2 column vectors. Now let's suppose if I want to combine 2 vectors, let's suppose if I want to write another vector W, and in which I write S transpose, and then I give space, and then I say T transpose. So now MATLAB took the transpose of S. So the transpose of S is 1, 2, 3, and the transpose of T is 4, 6, and 7, and combine both of these. So we can either give spacing or we can give we can enter comma. So comma means that S and T will be, S transpose will be the first column and T transpose will be the second column, and in this case S row vector will be first row and T vector row vector will be the second row. So kindly keep in mind both these two variations. We will learn array addressing. So what is array addressing? Let me write an array. Let's suppose I write a B vector 2, 3, 4, then second row 4, 6, 7, then third row 7, 8, 9. So now we have a 3 cross 3 matrix. So let's suppose if I write B1 and I press enter, so B1 is the first element. So B1. One another way is to extract a value or a number from an array. We can write the row and column of that element. Let's suppose if I want to address this 6, so it has a second row and second column. So if I write B2, 2, so it will be equal to 6. Now if I write, let's suppose B of 3, so the indices of these elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the indices are column wise. So this three element of this B array have index 4. So if I write B4, so it will give me 3. Let's suppose if I want to replace 3 with some other value. Let's suppose I want to make this 3 as 0. So let me display B vector. So we have this B vector. And now I want to change only this 3. So I want to replace this 3 by 0. So what I can do, I can write B, and it's the fourth element. So I will write B4 and I will equate it to 0. So now we have replaced the 3 element, that is the first row and second column element, with 0. Now if I want to replace this 9th element, and now I want to use this method. If I write B third row and third column, if I write 3, 3, and now I write, let's suppose I write 10. So now we have replaced this 9 with 10. So we can edit our already existing array by using this method. This is called addressing. Now let's suppose I have B matrix. I have this B matrix, 3 cross 3 matrix, and then let's suppose I have this C matrix, that is 1 cross 3 matrix. So now if I want to add this C row vector as a column, fourth column of this B vector, so what I will do, I want to add this row vector as a column, as a fourth column of this B vector. So what I will do, I can write B, I can update B as well. So I will write B, and then I will write B, and I want to have this row vector as a column vector. So I need to take the transpose, and then I will write this comma, and I will write C, and I will take the transpose. So yeah, so this is the method. So we have added this C vector, this row vector, as a column vector, as a fourth column in this B vector. Let's suppose I have another D vector. I have this D vector, it's again row vector, and now I want to add this D row vector as a fourth row of this B vector. So what I can do, I can write B is equal to square brackets B, and this time I want to add this as a row. So if I want to add this as a row, so I need to write semicolon. So I will write semicolon, and then I will write D. So if I press enter, this D row vector is added as a fourth row of this B. So now we have updated this B vector, and now if the size of this B vector is 4 cross 4. Now if let's suppose I want to extract these three values, 7, 2 and 12, and I want to address these values. Let's suppose I want to store these values in some other variable. Let's suppose I want to store it in B1. So B1, I can write B This is second element, this is third, and this is fourth, and I want to extract second, third, and fourth element. So I want to extract 2 to fourth element. So if I write like this, b1, another new variable, and I want to extract these 7, 2, and 12. So if I press enter, these 7, 2, and 12 are saved as a row vector in this b1. Now let's suppose if I want to store this 13, 6, 9, 6, these values in some other variable. So let's suppose I want to store it in b2. So I will write b2, and then I will write b and the addresses of these. So this is the 8th element, so I want to store the 8th element, 8th element to 12th element. So I will write 8 to 12. So 13, 6, 9, 6, 9, these elements, element number 8 to 12 are stored in b2 variable. Now let's suppose I want to extract all the elements of these two rows, row number 2 and row number 3. So how to write? Let's suppose I want to store them in some other variable. Let's suppose I want to store them in c1. So I will write b 2 row to third row, 2 to 3, and if I use commas and then I use colon. So colon means all columns but 2 to 3 rows. So if I enter this, so these are second and third row of this B matrix. Again, let me write B matrix again. So 7, 8, 9, and 12, 2, 4, 6, and 13. So these are row number 2 and row number 3. So we have stored the row number 2 and row number 3. Let's suppose I want to store the row number 1 and row number 4 in some other variable. Let's suppose I store it in C2. So let me write C2. Then I will write which row. Let's suppose I want to store the first and second row. So I will write 1. I will write first B, and then I will write 1 to second row, and then I will write colon. This is so it will extract the first and second row of this B matrix. Now let's suppose if I want to extract this 8, 9, 4th and 6th element from this matrix. So what I will do, 8, 9, these are the elements of second row, 4, 6 are the elements of third row, and similarly 8 and 4 are the elements of second column, and 9 and 6 are the elements of third column. So what I will write B. Let's suppose I want to store it in C3, so I will write C3, then I will write B, then I will write 2 colon 3 commas. So on the left hand side of this comma, this means that these are the addresses of row that I want, and on the right side of this comma I will enter the addresses of columns that I want. So I want second colon, third column. So now I have extracted 8, 9, 4 and 6, a 2 cross 2 matrix from 4 cross 4 matrix. So I think that's it for today. In today's lecture we have learned how to enter row vector, column vector, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and we also have learned the array addressing. So I think that's enough. If you want to follow these lectures, kindly subscribe to my channel Engineering Education and support me.